All right, I'd like to call this meeting to order for January 27th of the Mount Lebanon Commission. If we could all please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sorry about that. I got a little ahead of ourselves, Martin. Notice that. All right. Let's see. All right. I would like to turn it over to our manager, Mr. McGill, for manager's announcements, please.
I'm going to start with the roll call.
I always skip the roll call.
That's okay. You're just checking to make sure I'm paying attention. Commissioner Flynn?
Present.
Commissioner Izzo? Present. Commissioner Petty?
Here.
Commissioner Swager Wilson?
Here.
Commissioner Siegler?
Here. Or did I try the announcements now?
Earlier tonight, Commission met in discussion session and received information. And on the following items, we heard from Gateway Engineers with a review of our municipal road program, contract renewals, and a Sleepy Hollow sanitary sewer reroute project. Prior to that meeting, the Commission met in executive session to receive advice from the solicitor on legal matters. The next regular meeting of the Commission will be held on Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. That meeting will begin at 8 p.m. in this room. Here are the ways the public can participate, either in person, you don't need to pre-register, simply show up at the appropriate meeting time, or remotely via the Zoom webinar format. Again, no need to pre-register, simply click the link located on the meeting agenda on the municipal website. If you wish to speak during citizens' comments or during public hearings, simply use the raise hand feature on Zoom, and you'll be notified when it is your turn to speak. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. I would like to turn it over to Commissioner Flynn for community highlights.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, Mount Lebanon. Welcome to Community Highlights, the part of the agenda where we warm up before all the fun really begins. And I think it's fair to say we all earned the right to sit down tonight. We just came through a snowstorm that shows up about once every 16 years, and it arrived with a plan, a backup plan, and absolutely no intention of leaving quietly. This was not a dusting. This was the kind of storm that redraws driveway boundaries and turns curb lines into a fun guessing game. But before anything else, I want to thank the people who kept this community functioning while the rest of us were deciding whether we stocked up on enough toilet paper. Our police officers, firefighters, EMS crews, and public works teams and senior managers were in full response mode throughout the storm and the days that have followed, and we are deeply grateful. I also want to recognize the residents. This storm has asked a lot of you: patience, flexibility, and an impressive amount of shoveling stamina. People checked on neighbors, shared information, adjusted schedules, and showed exactly what it looks like when a community handles something big together. Since many of us are still coexisting with the snowbanks, one quick but important reminder: if there's a fire hydrant near your property, please clear a 3-foot circle around it. In an emergency, firefighters need fast access, not a slow snow scavenger hunt. And speaking of shoveling, sidewalks do need to be cleared. Residents have 24 hours after the snow ends. Businesses have 4 hours. Mount Lebanon is a walking community. Despite the cold, sidewalks are how many people get to school, to work, to transit, to errands, and how dogs enthusiastically remind us that snow days do not apply to them. If you are able, please help a neighbor who may be older, sick, or navigating life with a new baby. These storms are always easier when we help each other out. Enforcement is straightforward and fair. Police start with a warning and give property owners 12 hours to address the issue. After that, fines range from $5 to $300 per day while sidewalks remain uncleared. And if you encounter a truly dangerous sidewalk, residents can report it by calling 911 and police will respond. I also want to highlight something else that really mattered during this storm: communication. The municipality's updates, alerts, and public information, including the January 2026 snowstorm page, became a central hub for accurate, timely information during an event that was anything but routine. Thank you to our public information officer and her team for keeping everyone informed. One last community note before we pivot from snow therapy into the rest of tonight's agenda. Mount Lebanon's boards and authorities are made up of residents who care deeply about this place. If you've ever thought, I want to help shape how this community works, we would love to hear from you. Information is available at mountlebanon.org/boards with applications due by March 1st. So, thank you to everyone who shoveled, helped a neighbor, worked a long shift, or simply showed patience during a weekend none of us will soon forget any time. And with that, it is time to set the shovels down for a bit, stretch out those shoulders, and move on to all the fun we have lined up for the rest of tonight's agenda. For that, I will turn back to President Commissioner Siegler.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Flynn. All right, item number 2, citizens' comments. This is an opportunity for any resident to express an opinion on any topic pertaining to local government. The commission enjoys hearing from the public on various issues and learning about items to address in the future. If you have specific questions, we will try to answer them at the end of your comments. If we can't, we commit to getting you the answers as soon as possible. When I call your name, please come to the podium to address the commission. State your name and address for the record. In fairness, we ask each speaker to share their thoughts for 5 minutes. The community is as good as each person in this room. We work together to make sure that this is a community we can all be proud of, and we hope that the dialogue remains respectful. We also appreciate the audience's efforts to refrain from any behavior that is disruptive or might intimidate free speech. First up, it looks like we have Rick Bartowski.
Good evening. Thank you, Rick Bartkowski, 1072 Summer Place. Thanks for the segue on that, on the snow removal. I'm here to talk about that. We're accessed off of Smith Lane, which has been in existence since 1910. It serves 5 residents. The November Mount Lebanon magazine featured an article on Mount Lebanon streets and private roads that said, Mount Lebanon will salt and plow private roads. It went further to list 37 of these private streets that were plowed and salted. The Mount Lebanon website says that private streets in Mount Lebanon will have snow removal since it's a public safety issue. We emailed Keith McGill on October 29th requesting plowing and salting service on Smith Lane, citing the safety and security of residents and the users of Smith Lane. After almost 3 months, we have not been provided any rationale or basis on why the township won't provide plowing and salting services on Smith Lane. The response to our initial request was to arbitrarily call Smith Lane a driveway. The township was unable to explain why the private driveway, which is 50% shorter than Smith Lane off of Lindendale with 3 residents, is plowed, but Smith Lane is not. The township then stated that plowing and salting of Smith Lane could not be done because of grade, terrain, and access of Smith Lane. This notion was disproved as Mount Lebanon plows and salt trucks regularly fill the salt box halfway up Smith Lane, and we've also had private services plow the lane. The township stated that plowing and salting services were a legal issue. If that were true, the township should discontinue plowing and salting all the private lanes that they do. And since they continue to do it, it's not a legal issue. Smith Lane is used for access and is a walkway from Summer Place down to Cedar Boulevard by school students and adults, residents of Cedar Lane and other neighbors. Since snow removal is a public safety issue as stated above and on the Mount Lebanon website, why is Mount Lebanon no longer concerned with the public safety of the residents and school children, and are they only concerned with public safety in some, but not all private lanes? We have asked for rationale on providing snow removal and salting service on private streets, and nothing has been provided. As such, the decision is purely arbitrary, lacks legitimate justification, and is irrational. Many of the 37 private streets that are plowed and salted by the township are similar to Smith Lane and in many cases serve less residents. Since the township has failed to provide a rational basis for its decision, we would request that the township reconsider its position and provide salting and plowing of Smith Lane for public safety of the residents, adults, and children that use Smith Lane, and for fair, consistent, equitable treatment of township residents on multi-dwelling private roads. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Jay Monahan, please.
I know, Andrew, I typically be wearing my hat. It's over here. My name's Jay Monahan. I live at 1070 Summer Place. I've been there since 2010. I've been a Mount Lebanon resident since probably about third grade. First, thank you for the time. I'm requesting the same thing that my neighbor, he's right next door, and really wishing that you would reconsider the plowing and salting services. To Rick's point, there really hasn't been a clear path forward since, October, November, and I understand that with a lot of dialogue that we sent back and forth. Slightly disappointing, especially this weekend, when the snow machine that I had broke down at the bottom and replacing an auger pin, and I'm trying to remove all that stuff. But needless to say, my justification isn't about money. We could afford part of it, it's there. It's really, you're already providing it. It came in an article that popped up and it said from Keith, although the municipality will plow and salt private roads, homeowners are responsible for the road's maintenance. Between Rick and myself, we do that maintenance. And we come back and we maintain it ourselves, but we're looking for some support. The other piece that Rick brought up, I'm gonna echo the same thing. It's a private lane. The school kids go through his yard, through my yard. They cut through the end of Summer Place. They're going to the rec center. They're going down with, their dogs, going for, whatever in the rest of the community, ball fields. I'm not requesting you to turn over, and I don't want to turn over the private lane to the municipality. That's not what I'm asking you to go do. And I'm not asking you to go remove, salting and plowing to everybody else's private roads, because they've already had it for years. It's grown through whatever the policies and procedures were. And I'm not asking for the residents to get a fee, or if we're going to propose that. That was something that came back up. I'm just simply asking the commission to be a good neighbor. We do that. We did it through the snowstorm as neighbors for everybody else. We helped out the rest of the community. I'm just asking you to do the same thing. You know what a difference a salt truck would make going up that road at the end of the day when you get it done? If we do it for other people in the community, why don't you do it here? Please consider it. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you very much. And it has been something that we've discussed. It is a complicated issue, as you brought up your concerns, and we're still having discussions to try to figure it out, but we will get back to you with a more in-depth answer. All right, next up, Colonel Hoon.
Bill Hoon, 456 Coolidge Avenue. In regards to this snow, I have a corner house, and we went out yesterday, I think, to see a giant pyramid of snow right on the corner of our lot, about 5 feet tall. Looked across the street, my neighbor has one 4 feet tall. Now, I'm sure the public works crews would say, well, there's no place to put it. What do you want us to do with it? Well, once again, that is people working for this township that have no idea what the community looks like. Right across the street from our two houses is a long sidewalk that is rarely used. And they could shove all the snow from Coolidge Avenue right up on that sidewalk and it wouldn't have been a problem. As it is, evidently the township expects two old guys to dig these mounds of snow off the sidewalk. Not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. I have no intention of going out there and trying to attack that pyramid. If the township is going to sabotage us, so be it. And I'd love to get a ticket for leaving that there, Disabled veteran being plowed in when right across the street is a solution. That's wonderful. Next thing is what's going on in Minneapolis. We've had 2 successive murders there by government officials. And folks wonder why people have such a lousy attitude toward their government. The White House is constantly screwing up, wants to invade Greenland, attacks our allies right and left. Are you kidding me? It's going to take at least 20 years to straighten things out after Trump's gone. I'm a Republican. I'm also a veteran. I've got 3 combat tours. Those people have no idea what they're doing. The government is totally out of control. In Minneapolis, there should never be military troops on our streets. That should never happen. That's not what our military is for. Instead of straightening out Europe, which would be a worthy goal, we're killing people in their streets. That's quite disturbing, quite disturbing. But at the same time, you're our government, and we see what you do. And the big beef has been about all the lying that's come out of Kristi Noem and the White House about what a threat Preddy was. Yeah, a skinny ICU nurse with a cell phone in his hand. He's a real threat. There should be people going to prison over these shootings, no doubt in my mind. And they should be disarmed, if not disbanded, because they do not know what they're doing. I'm convinced there are people in that group in ICE that are there specifically so they can kill people. You know, this is totally uncalled for. Shoot a woman with a whistle just trying to leave the scene of a demonstration. We need to all be ashamed because we're sitting here and how many protests? Not very many. Have a good night.
Thank you, Colonel Hoon. Nick, do we have anyone online?
We do have one online. Hold on one second. I'll get it set up. They don't have a name on there, so I'm just going to allow them. Good evening. Please unmute yourself and state your name and address for the record. You will have 5 minutes for your comments. You will hear a tone when your time is concluded.
Hello, my name is Dominic Gordon. I actually am a recent transplant to Mount Lebanon. Speaking of the disaster that's in DC, that's a big reason why I'm here in Mount Lebanon, because I used to work for the federal government. I currently work in a corporate strategy role for L.B. Foster. My name is Dominic Gordon. I live at 1191 Pinewood Drive. I'm here to speak today about how much I'd like to see more deregulation of the housing market. I'd like to see more development. I'm currently 24, and I know almost no one in my generation can afford the type of lifestyle I can. I mean, I have a single-family home out on Cedarhurst. I mean, I would like to see more people be able to move, more young families get to move into Mount Lebanon. And I'd like to see less people move to states like Florida, Arizona, Texas, and stay in places like Pennsylvania. I grew up in Cleveland, so I just know that a lot of these Rust Belt towns, there's not a lot of reasons for people to stay. But I know when people have opportunities to start a family, to have a home, and Mount Lebanon, it's just such a nice community. And I have to say that my little time I've had here, I've just loved it. I've enjoyed it so much. I know a lot of times when it comes to building new housing, one of the biggest obstacles is local regulations and a lack of support for local government. I know here in Mount Lebanon, we have commissioners that I know are tasked to getting more development. But I also know that we have some areas that have not been developed, have not been utilized. And part of that is the people that have paid for them have just been leaving them vacant. All I'm asking is I just would like to see in general a consideration of policies to increase the number of developments. I like mixed use developments. I like areas that people can move into, make move from one area of the township to the other as their lives change. And that's more what I'm looking forward to. Is I want more than anything that people can afford to live in this country again, and then live in places like Mount Lebanon again that are my age and younger, and people can go out of college and get their degree, get good jobs, and that way we have we have younger people that can pay the taxes, that can help keep these communities strong and educated, and we don't have as many people leaving them and going to elsewhere. That's just an important thing to me. I would like to see just more standardization, maybe even some support for development, public support, public funds. I just think it's very important to any community.
All right, thank you very much for your comment, and we certainly appreciate that, and I don't think that there's much disagreement here. We are in the process of going through a refresh of our zoning, so please feel free to reach out. I think we'll be considering some of those issues you mentioned at that time. All right, item number 3, Commissioner Flint.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move to approve the minutes from the regular meeting held on January 13th, 2026.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. All right, that motion has passed. Item number 4, Commissioner Petty.
Mr. President, public hearing for consideration of ordinance bill number 1-26, amending the Mount Lebanon Code to include newly enacted ordinances or amendments to existing ordinances enacted since January 28th, 2025. The Mount Lebanon's ordinances were codified in 1978, with updates occurring periodically since that time. All the ordinances have been enacted previously by the commission, but this action will codify the documents.
All right, I would like to open a public meeting regarding this. Do we have any comments? Seeing none?
Move to enact ordinance bill number 1-26.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any comment or question? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, item number 5, Commissioner Izzo.
Public hearing for ordinance bill number 2-26 to amend chapter 7, part 4 related to environmental conditions of property. Part 4 of chapter 7 of the municipal code, health and safety, contains standards relating to the environmental conditions of property. The proposed amendment would add standards to the existing ordinance in order to protect the public health, safety, and welfare of residents in order to maintain property values and prevent blight. This Part 4 shall apply to all properties in municipality. Updated standards include provisions relating to landscaping, sidewalks and driveways, windows and glazing, commercial properties, liabilities, in concurrence with statewide codes.
All right, I would like to open a public hearing on this matter. Any comments? All right, seeing none, the public hearing is closed. All right. Can we get a motion, correct?
No,
No.
we're just held a public hearing this evening. We will do a motion to enact at the next meeting.
My mistake, all right. Okay, item number 6, Commissioner Swagger Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is introduction of ordinance bill number -3-26, amending the Mount Lebanon Code, Chapter 4, Part 4, Fire Code regarding volunteer status. The classification of volunteer firefighters in the Mount Lebanon Code requires modernization and language adjustments. The proposed ordinance implements the use of the terms response firefighter and service firefighter to better delineate the roles of these groups. Other language changes are also made. I would like to introduce ordinance bill number 3-26.
All right. Thank you very much, Commissioner Swagger Wilson. Item number 7, Commissioner Flint.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration of resolution number R-1-26 to appoint an emergency management coordinator. Per Pennsylvania Title 35, each local organization of emergency management shall have a coordinator who shall be responsible for planning, administration, and operation of the local organization subject to the direction and control of the executive officer governing body. The fire chief and manager recommend the appointment of Fire Deputy Chief Lawrence Salander to the position of Emergency Management Coordinator for the municipality of Mount Lebanon, based on his professional competence and prior experience working as a Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator for the past 8 years. Mr. President, I have the distinct pleasure of moving to appoint Fire Deputy Chief Larry Salander as Municipal Emergency Management Coordinator.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Excellent. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations.
Mr. President, just as a personal note, I had the opportunity to work through this most recent snow event with Deputy Chief Salander, who did an excellent job of activating our virtual Emergency Operations Center. Extremely good coordination with police, fire, EMS, Public Works, PIO, in order to be able to get valuable information out to our residents, to the community, and to coordinate with all of those other public safety entities. So I just wanted to recognize Mr. Salander for his, Deputy Chief Salander, excuse me, for his contributions over this most recent storm event.
Thank you, much appreciated, and congrats to the Deputy Chief, and we are confident you will serve us well. All right, item number 8, Commissioner Petty.
Mr. President, consideration to purchase 3 police vehicles. The police department has requested to purchase 2 2026 Ford Police Interceptor utility vehicles for the use by the patrol unit, and 1 2025 Ford F-150 to use for the traffic division. These new vehicles will replace old vehicles that have reached their useful end of life or recycle through other positions or departments in the municipality. Previously approved operating budget funds will be used for the purchase of these vehicles. Woltz and Wind Ford has quoted the purchase price for the 2 Ford Interceptors under CoStar contract 013-E22-220, and the total purchase price includes the government price concession discount. The total purchase price for the 2 Ford Interceptors, as quoted by Woltz and Wind Ford, is $96,000. The cost per vehicle is $48,000. The budget amount for these vehicles is $96,000, including upfit costs.
Excluding.
Excluding upfit costs. Laurel Ford has quoted the purchase price for the F-150 under CoStar contract 013-E22-248, and the total purchase price includes the government price concession discount. The total purchase price of the one vehicle, as quoted by Laurel Ford, is $48,700. The budget amount for this vehicle is $51,400, excluding upfit costs. Mr. President, I move to purchase the 2 2026 Ford Police Interceptor vehicles through the CoStar purchasing program from Woltz and Wind Ford at a total price of $96,000, and one 2025 F-150 through the CoStar purchasing program from Laurel Ford at a total price of $48,700.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion or comment?
Just as a point of information, the municipality budgets separately for the upfit cost for these vehicles.
Understood. Thank you for the clarification. All right, seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 9, Commissioner Izzo.
Consideration to purchase one Bandit 18 XP wood chipper to replace a unit that has reached the end of its useful life. Commission approval is requested to purchase one Bandit 18 XP forestry chipper from Stevenson Equipment, Inc. at a cost of $107,875. Stevenson Equipment participates in the Pennsylvania Coast Guard Purchasing Program and quoted the new unit under contract number 4400028339. A 2001 Bandit Model 250 will be traded for $2,250 towards the purchase. $120,000 has been appropriated in the 2026 operating budget for the purchase of a new chipper. Mr. President, I move to purchase one Bandit 18 XP forestry chipper through the Coast Guard Purchasing Program from Stevenson Equipment, Inc. at a cost of $105,231.25, including the trade of the old unit.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 10, Commissioner Swigger Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration to purchase one Caterpillar 420-07XE backhoe. Commission approval is requested to purchase one Caterpillar 420-07XE backhoe from Cleveland Brothers Equipment at a purchase price of $172,086.89. A Caterpillar 420D IT backhoe will be traded at a value of $40,900 for a net cost of $131,186.89. $180,000 was appropriated in the 2026 capital improvement budget for the purchase of a new backhoe. Cleveland Brothers has quoted the equipment under state contract 4400028102. Parent contract 4400027914. I move to purchase one Caterpillar 420-07XE backhoe from Cleveland Brothers Equipment at a purchase price of $172,086.89 with a net cost of $131,186.89.
And do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 11, Commissioner Flynn.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration to purchase one Tarco Windy 400 leaf loader to replace a unit that has reached the end of its useful life. Commission approval is requested to purchase one trailer-mounted Tarco Windy 400 leaf loader from A&H Equipment at a total cost of $100,305. $99,500 has been appropriated in the 2026 operating budget for the purchase of a new unit. A&H Equipment participates in the Pennsylvania Coast Guard's purchasing program and quoted the new unit under contract number 25-E22-458. Mr. President, I move to purchase one trailer-mounted leaf loader through the Coast Guard's purchasing program from A&H Equipment at a cost of $100,305.
Second.
All right, the enthusiasm is noted and appreciated, and I suggest the other commissioners follow suit. We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 12, Commissioner Petty.
Mr. President, consideration for the award of the 2026 Mount Lebanon Sanitary and Storm Sewer Lining Project. Bids were received on December 9th, 2025 for the 2026 Mount Lebanon Sanitary and Storm Sewer Lining Project. This project includes sanitary and storm sewer full-length manhole-to-manhole lining. The bids were submitted by 5 contractors and verified by the municipal engineer as follows. To our right and the audience's left, the municipal engineer has reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate and complete. The Mount Lebanon engineer recommends the project be awarded to Insight Pipe Contracting LLC. The contractor has successfully completed this contract work in Mount Lebanon previously in 2004, 2007, through 2009, 2015, and 2019. The engineer's estimate for this work is approximately $1,299,766. The project will be paid for from the sanitary and storm sewer funds. Mr. President, I move to award the 2026 Mount Lebanon sanitary and storm sewer lining contract to Insight Pipe Contracting LLC in the amount of $1,124,196.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 13, Commissioner Izzo.
Consideration for the renewal of the annual storm and sanitary sewer cleaning and televising contract. Bids were received on December 3rd, 2024 for the annual storm and sanitary sewer cleaning and televising contract. This contract for 2026 encompasses cleaning and video inspection to fulfill the requirements of the operation and maintenance portion of the consent order, as well as to inspect sewers under roads to be repaved or reconstructed. The contract includes a base year, 2025, with 2 optional renewal periods. This allows the contract to extend at Mount Lebanon's discretion to maintain contractor continuity and reduce bidding costs. The municipal engineer has verified the bids as follows, which are listed up on the screen. The municipal engineer reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate. Based upon past performance of the contractor, he recommends award of the contract to Robinson Pipe Cleaning Company. The 2026 contract year represents a 5.99 increase in contract amount compared to 2025. The amount of work issued under the contract will be paid for from the sanitary and storm water funds. Move to award the first renewed period 2026 storm and sanitary sewer cleaning and televising contract to Robinson Pipe Cleaning Company in the amount of $400,150.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 14, Commissioner Swager Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration for renewal of the sanitary and storm sewer point repair contract. Bids were received on December 3rd, 2024 for the sanitary and storm sewer point repair contract. This contract is used to make repairs in the sanitary and storm sewer system as they are identified in the calendar year through investigative work or emergency situations. The bid includes 140 items associated with the work, and as such, the total contract value is overstated in the amount of work that will be completed in any calendar year. To address this issue, the contract documents clearly state that there is no guarantee as to the amount of work issued by the municipality. The contract includes a base year, 2025, with 2 optional renewal periods. This allows the contract to extend at Mount Lebanon's discretion to maintain continuity and reduce bidding cost. The municipal engineer verified the bid as follows on my screen to the right, on the audience's to the left. The municipal engineer has reviewed the bid and determined the low bid to be accurate and based upon past performance of the contractor. He recommends award of the contract to Neando Construction, Inc. The 2026 contract represents a 5% increase in contract amount compared to 2025. The amount of work issued under the contract will be paid for from the sanitary and storm sewer funds. I move to award the second renewal period 2026 sanitary and storm sewer point repair contract to Neando Construction, Inc. in the amount of $1,062,280.99.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Swager Wilson. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Back to the excitement. Commissioner Flynn, item number 15.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration for the renewal of the sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitation program. Bids were received on December 5th, 2023 for the sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitation program. This program involves the rehabilitation of sanitary sewer manholes showing signs of deterioration throughout the municipality. This is a required activity of the EPA consent order. The contract includes a base year, 2024, with 2 optional renewal periods. This allows the contract to extend at Mount Lebanon's discretion to maintain contractor continuity and reduce bidding costs. The municipal engineer verified the bids as presented on your screen. The municipal engineer reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate. The engineer's estimate for the work in 2023 was $559,185, and based upon the past performance of the contractor, he recommends award of the contract to Robinson Pipe Cleaning Company. The second renewal period for the 2026 year represents a 5% increase above the 2025 contract. The project will be paid from the Sanitary Sewer Fund. Mr. President, I move to award the second renewal period, 2026 sanitary sewer manhole rehabilitation program contract to Robinson Pipe Cleaning Company in the amount of $508,438.45.
Second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Flynn. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 16, Commissioner Petty.
Mr. President, consideration for the award of the backwater valve maintenance project. One bid was received on December 5th, 2023 for the backwater valve maintenance project. This contract is used to maintain the sanitary sewer backwater valves at various addresses in the municipality. The project includes a provision for renewal for second, third, and fourth year at the municipality's discretion. This allows the contract to extend at Mount Lebanon's discretion to maintain contractor continuity and reduce bidding costs. The municipal engineer verified the bids as follows on your screen. The municipal engineer reviewed the bids and determined the low bid to be accurate. The engineer's estimate for the work in 2024 was $23,215.50, and based upon the past performance of the contractor, he recommends award of the contract to Roto-Rooter Services. The second renewal period for 2026 year represents a 3.4% increase above the 2025 contract. The project will be paid from the Sanitary Sewer Fund. Mr. President, I move to award the second renewal period of the 2026 backwater maintenance valve project contract to Roto-Rooter Services in the amount of $17,835.
Second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Petty. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 17, Commissioner Izzo.
Consideration for the renewal of the chemical root treatment contract. One bid was received on February 21st, 2023 for the chemical root treatment project. This project includes the chemical root treatment of approximately 45,000 LF of sanitary sewers throughout the municipality of Mount Lebanon. The contract included a base year 2023 with 3 optional renewal periods. This allows the contract to extend at Mount Lebanon's discretion to maintain contractor continuity and reduce bidding costs. The municipal engineer verified the bid as follows, as set forth on the screen. The municipal engineer reviewed the bid and determined the low bid to be accurate. The engineer's estimate for the work in 2023 was $85,180. Based upon the past performance of the contractor, he recommends award of the contract to Duke's Root Control, Inc. The third renewal period for the 2026 year represents a 5% increase above the 2023 contract and a 0% increase when compared to 2025. The project will be paid for from the Sanitary Sewer Fund. Move to award the third renewal period 2026 Chemical Root Treatment Program to Duke's Root Control, Inc. in the amount of $88,357.50.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Thank you, Commissioner Izzo. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 18, Commissioner Swigger Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration for the renewal of the 2026 Street Rejuvenator contract. Bids were received on March 19th, 2024 for the 2024 Street Rejuvenator contract, which included the application of approximately 34,600 square yards of Reclamite pavement rejuvenator throughout the municipality. Reclamite is a cost-effective way to extend the life of the asphalt pavement and has been used successfully by the municipality for over 20 years. The original contract included a base year, 2024, with 3 optional renewal periods. This allows the contract to be extended at Mount Lebanon's sole discretion until 2028 to maintain continuity and reduce bidding costs. The municipal engineer verified the bid as follows, as seen on the screen to my right and your left. The municipal engineer, based upon past performance of the contractor, recommends extension of the contract to Pavement Technology, Inc. The total contract value would be $43,596 based upon the 5% increase. The budget for the program is $44,100 for 2026. The engineer will monitor quantities to stay within the assigned budget. The project is to be funded through the transportation portion of the operating budget. I move to award the second renewal period 2026 Street Rejuvenator contract to Pavement Technology, Inc. in the amount of $43,596.
Second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Swigger Wilson. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 19, please, Commissioner Flint.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration to purchase new playground surface for Rockwood Park. The Public Works Department is requesting authorization to purchase playground fall zone surface material from Yoka Playgrounds. Pricing for materials and installation were bid under the Omnia Cooperative Purchasing Network in the amount of $84,412.90. Included are playground grass surfacing, hopscotch, log steppers, and new poly lumber borders around the perimeter for the entire playground. $87,500 was appropriated in the 2026 operating budget for this project. The contractor has completed similar work in other park areas in a satisfactory manner. Mr. President, I move to approve the purchase and installation of a new playground fall zone surface for Rockwood Park from Yoka Playgrounds in the amount of $84,412.90.
Second.
All right, thank you, Commissioner Flynn. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does that mean that all the chips are going away, the wood chips?
Yes.
That's great news, isn't it? Okay,
Tremendousness.
yeah,
All right.
fabulous.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. All right, looks like we're to item number 20, Commissioner Petty.
Thank you, Mr. President. Consideration for commencement of a pension benefits for deferred participants. Mount Lebanon sponsors 3 different pension benefits plans for their employees: general employees, police, and firefighters. The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania's Department of the Auditor General requires that all benefits commence for the police pension plan be approved by the Commission. It also recommends that all benefits commences regardless of the plan type be approved by the Commission. The employees detailed below have requested benefit commencement,
Commensurate.
Commensurate.
Commensurate. Commensurate,
All
we'll
right,
get it.
with the
Okay.
terms of their representative pension plans. On your screen, move to approve benefits commencement for Rudy Sukol.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 21, Commissioner Izzo.
Consideration of the expenditure list for November totaling $7,160,832.12. I move to approve the expenditure list for November totaling $7,160,832.12.
Second. All right, thank you, Commissioner Izzo. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 22, Commissioner Swalger Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is consideration of the expenditure list for December totaling $4,186,258.12. I move to approve the expenditure list for December totaling $4,186,258.12.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Item number 23, Commissioner Flynn.
It is with distinct pleasure that I ask that the reports be received and filed.
I'd like to thank our audience for staying highly engaged during these riveting proceedings this evening. Adjourned.